Okay, so my
Yeah.
question is have you ever learned like a life lesson that you learn it in a very unique way? So some examples could be you learn it by accident, you learn it from a person you don't like, you learn it from just doing um like when you what's the word? You did from learn from it from like doing trivial things. Like let's say you were watering your garden and then you learn something about like life. You know, and I can give you a story of mine. Uh, it was a long day after work, and I was like really upset. I was really tired because things didn't go my way. I screwed up at work, right? And then I went to this grocery store, and I noticed there was like this older gentleman slowly walking towards me. And you know what? Even though I had a cruddy day, I'm gonna do the right thing. I'm gonna hold the door for this gentleman. So then I held the door for him, and he was just taking his sweet time. You know, some people when you hold the door, they like rush,
Yeah.
right? Like this man, he just took his sweet time, and then like it took at least like 20 seconds, and you know, like when you're holding a door for someone, 20 seconds is forever.
Mhm.
So as you walk by, you know, you kind of expect like, oh, thank you, son, or like, oh, I appreciate that, you know. And he didn't say anything,
Oh
so
my
I was like,
God.
I gave him a look, you know, like really, and then he looked back at me,
And
and he
then,
was like, it was like, and he knew what my gaze was. He knew the energy that I was emitting, and he told me like I know you expect me to say thank you, but I don't owe you anything, and that got me kind of upset. But still,
oh my
I let it go.
God. Where's
I
the
let it
boxing
go.
gloves? Where's the
So you
gloves?
complete your bucket list, old man. Nah, but no, the more I thought about it, like, later on the day when I cooled down, and it's like he was right. In life, nobody owes you anything. Like no one has to do anything for you, you know. And it's just like a light bulb moment for me. It's because, dang, I'm having all these expectations from other people when they don't owe me anything. They don't have to do anything for me. I need to be the reason that I succeed. I need to be the reason that I achieve my goals. So whatever other people do for me, I'm very thankful because they're great people. But I need to make sure that I take care of myself. I need to make sure that I put in the hard work. And I need to make sure that I don't have those expectations of always expecting people to do something for me. Like if I hold the door for you, say thank you know, or waiting for someone to do something nice for me to do something nice back. You know, why don't I just do the nice thing and not expect anything? So it was crazy. It's like I looking back now, I took that moment of like, ah, oh, this I could have blew up that old man. I could have been whatever. He's a jerk.
Mhm. I mean, you just have those couple of seconds to really react and think on what you're gonna do. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean, I like your approach. It's just, you took it in a cool way.
Yeah, and that's something I'm gonna carry on through my whole life and teach it to my kids. Is you know, people always expect like, oh, people are gonna do this for me because you know I
Mhm.
have a disability or like I have trouble with this, I have trouble with that. But the only person that's gonna dig you out of your grave is you, most of the time. The only person that really cares about your well-being, that really cares about um, your things you want to do in life is yourself. It's like a business, right? If you hire employees, are they gonna care about your business as much as you? Of course not. No, of course not. Even if you create the greatest work culture and you create the best working environment through it all, through all the difficulties, and at the end of the day, you're the person that cares the most. You're the person that's gonna care through all your plans to make sure the business is successful, right? So, and that's just been a life changing experience for me. It's like now that I see the old man, again, I know I like months later, I told him like straight up, like thank you for that. Like I'm not sure if you remember that, but you taught me a very valuable lesson. It's like I'm gonna remember that for the rest of my life. And in like the best response he's had was like, yeah, I do that to people. I just have to laugh it off. And every time I see him now, it's just we have
Oh,
a
so you see him.
good.
Yeah, it's good.
I see him and then it's like, oh, like it's like, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
And it's funny that we created like a relationship through like a
Oh.
bad moment. So I guess
Yeah,
things
you
turn
gotta
out
find
to
the
be
good and
good.
the bad, and yeah, just connect. Yeah.
Connect, yes.
Okay. For me, I okay. So I mean, as you know, I've been working constantly at home, and you know, I try to find. I find myself losing track of time. And you know, depending on the workload that I have, it's usually a point where I tend to forget my lunch, like forget to eat lunch, forget to stand up, anything. Um, so I guess this one experience, I was actually working and it was like lunchtime already, and I hear a knock on the door at my house, and then I I go to the door, of course, put on my mask, and I just see like this plate of food on the stairs. Like it's all covered up. It was actually like a those food delivery service meals, and I was just wondering who that was, who sent that package, and if it was the right house or not, because I was home alone that time, and um, I looked on the receipt. It had my name on there, and I was like, who in the world could know my address and send have the I don't know, I guess the thought to buy me food for lunch. Um, so I looked on the receipt, and yeah, my I guess my older brother's name was on there, and you know I didn't talk to him throughout the day. He didn't know I didn't eat and all that. So yeah, my older brother bought me food for lunch, and you know I was kind of just I stepped back a bit, and I was like just thought to myself like you know, I was just very thankful, and I mean a little bit emotional because it was kind of like, you know, it's a pattern. It's been a pattern where like, you know, sometimes I would forget my lunch, and
Mm.
then but I try not to nowadays. Um, yeah, so to have that package of food, I eventually called him right away, and then I said like, "What is this?" And he just laughed because he knew I was gonna be surprised, and he just told me first thing, pay it forward. So those three words really hit me. And yeah, I mean, I've heard it before, but I never really experienced that idea of paying it forward until I got that um, package of food, which was Korean food, my favorite.
Mm.
So from there, yeah, I talked to him and asked him like why, and he said pay it forward. You never know, there's going to be somebody in need, whether it's um, the homeless or just somebody that who hasn't had lunch yet. Anybody can be a stranger, somebody you know. Try to find a way to pay it forward, and from there, you know, I really took that advice into my own hands, and you know that day I went to there's usually this guy that sits right in front of a 7-Eleven convenience store right in my area, and yeah, I just went right after lunch, go to that 7-Eleven. He was there, and you know, instead of going into um, like 7-Eleven and all that, because he's always there eating the same stuff, I just, you know, I went over next door to one of the plate lunch restaurants and just, you know, got him something a little bit different than the usual. And um, yeah, it was, I just told him, you know, even if he can't pay it forward financially, you know, there's these certain acts of kindness that you can do to fulfill that um, idea. And yeah, just the whole um, experience of my brother buying something for me. and me doing that for someone else as well. You know, it's a cycle. So I mean, who knows who he's gonna um, buy something for, or you know, it's a pattern that continues and continues, and that's just a wave of kindness that we all need to, um, you know, share with the world. So yeah, it's like that. That was a lesson that, you know, came to life after all these years. So yeah, that is it.
It's like you can never do too many acts of kindness.
Yeah.
Right?
So
Just imagine if everyone around the world just did nice things to each other. Like it doesn't have to be multiple. Just do one nice thing.
yeah,
Imagine the change you can have. And like you said, like if you can't do it financially, doesn't need to include money.
it doesn't.
A compliment, like a comment
Yeah,
about like, oh, you look good today, or like that nice
yeah,
dress, or a good haircut. You know, there's so many ways for us to do nice things for each other, and we need to just start doing make that a habit, doing kind things for others.
yep. Compliments help a lot. Positive notes, anything. So,
I agree. We need more kindness in this world.
oh, tell me about it.
It's like one of those things where having an excess amount is good.
Yeah. All right. So that is the question. That was the answer. Yeah.